So I'm heading up towards the allotment in the village where I live in Somerset, and it's late November now. Obviously you still go up and check on it over the winter, and you might well be harvesting winter veg and that kind of thing, but it's quite a nice thing to do, to just do a little how to put your allotment to bed. And it's quite a windy day today. It's a very cold day, so it's perfect weather conditions to show you how some of my winter preparations are holding up. So that's what I'm going to do. And this is how I get to my allotment. It's a little bit of a trek, but it provides a good warm-up for working hard on the plot. And this is the entrance to the allotment field, which is fairly secure. Let's go in and find out what's going on. So the sun is shining, but it is cold today. And the lovely thing about late November, this is not very often anybody up here. Most people have packed up for the winter. I quite like coming up here at this time of year and just having a bit of solitary time. So the plots are in varying degrees of sort of decrepitude is what I would say. And this is my plot 15. So as I've taken the crops out of the ground, I've covered up my long beds and my raised beds with black membrane. It's very cheap to buy, and I just use it over and over again. And what that does is it protects my soil over the winter from lots of heavy rain, and general sort of also stops the weeds growing, because if you get a mild spell in the winter, the weeds will grow, and it's actually quite hard weeding in the winter. The soil on this plot is quite heavy, so it just waterlogs, and it means that it's really hard to weed. So I cover everything. Once I've taken my crops out, I just weed everything, and then I put black membrane down. I haven't done it with everything. The strawberry beds, as you can see, are looking fairly uncovered, and the raspberry canes, these are autumn raspberries, so I will cut these back in probably late December and right to the ground, and then they'll be ready for next year. But everything's looking, we had frost last night, so the nasturtiums have finally copped it, so they're going to come out. They'll make really good compost. They were looking, 2 days ago I came up here, they were looking absolutely beautiful, but they've had it now. They're not very resilient when it comes to cold temperatures. There we are, look, there's some more, so they'll come out. That's my job for today. And similarly, getting a bit windy here. Similarly, the lobelia as well is looking a little bit tragic, so that's going to come out. And that's really how I get my plot ready for the winter. I just take the crops out, give everything a weed, cover everything up with black membrane, and I know that I won't have to come up and do any weeding in the winter. I do have a couple of crops. I've still got my leeks. There they are. They've done really well in a raised bed this year. I haven't grown leeks up here successfully until I put a raised bed in. And just keeping everything weighted down with rocks and pins and tyres. That's what you need. Got a couple of cabbages there, they've been slightly savaged, but once I get the outer leaves off they should be really nice. We'll have at least one of those for Christmas. But there's not much up here now, so it's looking very, very bleak. So that's how I get my plot ready for the winter. Cover everything up, cut the grass, edge the grass, do a bit of weeding. All the water butts are full, and it will be a time of battening down the hatches and just popping up here periodically and checking up on things as and when I need to. So the winter allotment has landed. Please subscribe to Pink Octopus Productions. We make lots of little videos about our travels and hopefully get a few more on about the allotment as well. Thank you for watching.